Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
We've got more on the investigation into an allegation of child abuse at a local elementary school.
Calling the law to give raises an original sin. Details from today's press conference on Bill 11.
And also, your governor has ordered the Guam EPA to order tests to check for exposure to Agent Orange on the island. Afternoon, my friends, and good evening. We first broke you the story about ongoing investigations into child abuse at Price Elementary School last week. And as our Isa Baza reports in tonight's top story, this is not the first time that possible abuse at the school's Head Start program was reported to DOE. Here's more.
Parent Gary Guile was shocked to find his 5-year-old son strapped to a chair at Price Elementary School last week. According to the teacher, he did it himself.
So my son sat down in the chair in his own free will and strapped himself down in the chair and then sat there long enough in the chair to urinate on himself.
After reporting the incident as child abuse to the school principal as well as the Guam Police Department, the Head Start teacher was removed from the classroom and moved to DOE's central office for the duration of the ongoing investigations by both GPD and DOE. However, KUAM has learned Guile isn't the only parent who has reported alleged child abuse at the Manilao campus Head Start program. It was back in school year 2013-2014 when another parent came forward after finding her son being pinned down by the assistant teacher with her knees pressed against his chest. The parent reported the incident to the Head Start director, but never heard back about the results of the investigation.
We asked Mrs. Schroeder about that, and she couldn't give us much detail. She wasn't really sure about the incident and needed to get back with us. So she's going to provide us additional information later on this morning in terms of what happened and what actions were taken.
Catherine Schroeder is a division administrator for Head Start. She, along with Price Elementary Principal Jermaine Castro, met with department leadership this morning. According to Deputy Superintendent Chris Anderson, aside from providing updates on the investigation, they also discussed appropriate methods of behavior management at the Head Start level.
So in an instance where a student may emotionally act out, take papers, pull them off the wall, or throw papers around the classroom, what they'll typically do is have the student help the teacher and the aide in the classroom to help clean up the mess. In general instances where a student may be acting out, of course, teachers are going to try and protect that student and protect other students in the classroom if they're physically acting out and hurting other kids. That's not the case here, of course.
Anderson said DOE is actively investigating the incident and hopes to find resolution soon.
We want to make sure that we get to a full understanding of what happened and, like I mentioned, take immediate corrective action once we find out the investigation results.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
We brought you the story on Friday. 16 students have been suspended at the home of the Roadrunners after a riot forced the Dededo school to undergo a shelter-in-place procedure. Deputy Superintendent, once again, Chris Anderson.
We can confirm that there was a riot that happened at Benavente Middle School. Mr. Patrick Ugubay, the principal, had notified central office that at roughly about 2:30 p.m. There were roughly 16 students that were involved.
Meanwhile, another shelter-in-place procedure also happened Friday, this time at F.B. Leon Guerrero Middle School. The incident involved 5 students who entered the campus intoxicated and attempted to injure employees using weapons, including rocks and pipes. Both incidents remain under investigation.
Continuing with DOE, that agency is facing disconnection from the Guam Waterworks Authority if it fails to pay over $740,000 in arrears by the 27th. The department also received a disconnection notice from GPA several weeks ago and still owes that utility agency upwards of $1.1 million, stemming in part from costs incurred during last year's Festival of Pacific Arts. FESPAC Committee Chairman Nate DeKnight said while it's likely funding will be available because the utility costs were unbudgeted items, The committee must review and approve the possible reimbursements at a meeting scheduled to take place in the next couple of weeks.
Calling it an original sin, the authors behind Bill 11 defend their proposal to repeal raises for elected and appointed officials. Ken Quintanilla has more.
I guess the crux of the matter is that we listened. We listened during the campaign, and now it's time to act.
And less than 1 month into the new term, Senator Michael Nicholas and a pair of freshman senators introduced the latest version of legislation to repeal raises for elected and now appointed officials. Senator Regine Bisco-Lee says the law was passed without the people's direct input and during a lame duck session in the darkness of night.
And so that's something that's really important and something that we really want to address by repealing that original sin, that Public Law 32-208.
The governor's office claims salary rollbacks harm the ability to attract and retain talented leaders. In response, Nicholas says there's never been a challenge to fill any senator, government, or director position.
So I welcome that challenge. I think that the people of Guam will be willing to take that for what it's worth. And I think that we should not let those kind of threats derail us from following through on our commitments to the people of Guam.
If passed, Bill 11 would reduce the governor's salary. This would fall below the salary levels of a UOG associate professor, a GPA engineering supervisor, or equipment superintendent of the port, for example. A rollback in salary levels would also mean certain firefighters and police personnel would make more than the governor.
When you look at the states, you'll find positions throughout the nation that are more highly compensated than their governor.
Right.
So
Every
I think
single
that we need
state,
to, I think we need to move away from that topic. Just because you're the governor of Guam doesn't mean you're entitled to make more than everybody else. And I think that every single civil servant who earns what they earn, they've done it through a merit system that has brought them to the salaries that they have earned.
As for other positions like the fire chief or the chief of police making less than those below them, Nicholas says senators can address these circumstances on a case-by-case basis. If passed, Bill 11 would also mean mayors would get paid more than the senators. Nicholas says mayors were included in previous repeal measures in order to garner support from other senators.
If that same sentiment creeps up over the course of the process, we'll go ahead and entertain that. But at this time, that has not been the conversation from some of the members of the 34th.
Bill 11 has yet to be referred to committee. Neither has Bill 4 or Bill 5. Senator Frank Uggan Jr.'s similar repeal measures introduced earlier this month. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
And let's go ahead and stay with salaries now, as Speaker B.J. Cruz is sounding off on Governor Calvo's veto of Bill 312 to raise the minimum wage. Calvo vetoed the bill last week and introduced his own proposal, raising the minimum wage to $9.20 an hour. The chief executive's proposal, however, would be subject to an independent study determining whether such a wage increase can be accomplished responsibly. By way of a release, Cruz says the governor could have waited to act on this bill until the actual study was completed. Instead, he asserts, the governor proposes a 95-cent raise to the minimum wage tied to a, quote, poison pill based purely on subjective terms and undefined phrases, end quote. He goes on to quote, if Governor Calvo opposes increasing the minimum wage, he should just admit it, because giving thousands of working class families false hope with his fake proposal is a sin. That again, B.J. Cruz. The minimum wage study is supposed to be completed by January 27th, with Market Research and Development contracted to do this study, with President Jay Merrill telling KUAM they'll be completed with the final draft this week and submit it to the Department of Labor.
He led police on a hot pursuit because he needed to use the bathroom, or at least that's what 23-year-old Gianni Sebalt Lucius stated when asked for his license and registration. Court documents state he was pulled over for speeding and unsafe lane changes that nearly caused an accident early Sunday morning. Although his passenger stated she tried to get Lucius to slow down, he refused and demanded that he get to a restroom. He was arrested and charged with resisting arrest and reckless driving, both as misdemeanors.
Amber Alert stands for America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response. It's an emergency system used across the country to notify the public of a child who has gone missing and believed to be abducted. Fortunately, an Amber Alert earlier this month proved to be a false alarm, but it could prove to be a valuable learning experience to the Guam Police Department in the event of a real emergency. Crystal Paco has more in our next report.
Despite the $6,500 worth of GovGuam resources expended to activate an Amber Alert earlier this month, that turned up to be a false alarm. The Guam Police Department maintains you can't put a price on human life. As we reported, Father James Niasi allegedly lied to police to effectuate a quicker response to a stolen car. He called 911 twice, the first to report the stolen car, and the second time alleging his 3-year-old daughter was asleep in the back seat. Hours later, it was discovered the little girl was safe at home with mom, and Niasi had gone to the store alone. That same day, Niasi was arrested for making a false report to police. While it was a false alarm, the Guam Police Department released an after-action report of their response. Despite speculation that it took hours for GPD to activate the Amber Alert, GPD maintains the shift supervisor arrived at the scene within 2 to 3 minutes of the reported missing child at Fine Store in Dededo. That officer gathered as much information as possible, and an all-points bulletin aired. All patrol officers, CIS, and supervisors on duty were activated to assist. Despite island media notified almost 2 hours after the alleged abduction, the after-action report indicates that the total time to activate the Amber Alert was less than an hour after all criteria from the U.S. Department of Justice was fulfilled. The report further states, quote, "The abduction of a child is of the highest priority and must be addressed without delay. GPD responded in good faith and immediately conducted their investigation and dispatch of personnel with the intention of locating a kidnapped child in accordance with GPD policy. There are good guidelines in place, and we are confident in the process that took place by our department that day. We will not stagnate but strive to improve and get better," end quote. The child's father, meanwhile, is scheduled to appear in court on February 8. Whether he'll be forced to repay the government for the wasted resources, that'll be up to the courts. According to court documents, Niasi knew what he did was wrong, but didn't think of the consequences of his deception. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Well, please stay tuned, everybody. More news is still to come after this break, and when we come back, we bring you the latest with the implementation of medicinal cannabis. That and much more when Primetime continues.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Do you want to get discounts at local restaurants like Lone Star, CPK, Capricciosa, Delmonico Kitchen and Bar, Manhattan Steakhouse, Tony Roma's, and lots more? What about 25% off on all natural and organic items at Payless Supermarkets daily? It's all part of Guam's largest rewards club, the Calvo's Lifestyle Club. Join today for free as an added benefit to being a Calvo's Insurance customer. Just show your Lifestyle Club card at over 50 of our rewards partners to start saving more. It's just one of the ways Calvo's Insurance helps you live a better lifestyle.
Two things come to play when talking about mobile data: price and speed. Let's look at what happens when we compare the competition against IT&E's $80 plan. Docomo's $79 plan comes with 6 gigs. IT&E's $80 plan comes with 20. GTA's $80 plan comes with 10 gigs. Better, but you get twice as much at IT&E. IT&E has the best network and the data to back it up. Get unlimited talk and text and 20 gigabytes for $80 at IT&E. Oh, and if you bring your own device, get 40 gigs.
Are Mom and Dad here yet?
Not yet. We didn't get our lane.
We gotta stop for cash. I forgot my wallet.
Just use your phone.
Right. Forgot your Bank of Hawaii debit card? No problem. Because now you can get cash with your phone with cardless cash from Bank of Hawaii. Introducing Cardless Cash. Download the Bank of Hawaii app today. Welcome to tomorrow.
Sometimes you picture me, I'm walking too far ahead. Then you say, go slow, I fall behind.
We all want what's best for our kids. Introducing McDonald's new Chicken McNuggets, made with 100% white meat chicken and no artificial colors, flavors, and now no artificial preservatives.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Alfred, and welcome back. It's a good idea to stay out of the water for the next couple of days. Currently in effect for Guam, Rota, Tinian, and Saipan are high surf and small craft advisories until 6 p.m. Thursday. The National Weather Service issued the advisories because of large north to northwest swells created by winds behind a cold front moving out of Japan. Surf is currently hazardous at 7 to 9 feet on north and west facing reefs and will remain that way through Thursday. The Weather Service advises people not to venture out to reef lines because they can be life-threatening, the rip currents, that is. Meanwhile, a small craft advisory means that winds speeds of 25 to 37 miles per hour and combined seas of 10 feet or more are expected to produce wave conditions hazardous to small craft. What this really means is you should probably stay out of the water for the next several days.
Well, just as military veterans have admitted to spraying the chemical while serving at Anderson Air Force Base more than a half century ago, Governor Calvo has now directed the EPA to test for traces of Agent Orange. In a letter to Administrator Walter Leon Guerrero, Calvo says he has justifiable concern about the residual effects this chemical may have on the environment, particularly Guam's aquifer and drinking water sources. He's therefore directing the Guam EPA to cause a full battery of tests on our drinking water sources and soils for harmful chemicals in the areas where herbicide Orange has been reported to have been sprayed. Earlier this month, members of the legislature launched a task force to collect data on the pollutant. Congresswoman Nadlin Bordallo also met with DoD officials on the matter, who denied that the herbicide was used on, stored, or transshipped through Guam during the Vietnam conflict.
By the middle of the year, Guam could see the doors to medical cannabis dispensaries open. Over the weekend, Grassroots Guam hosted its second workshop for patients and invited a special guest speaker who is an expert in the industry to give the keynote address.
Dozens of people who attended this past weekend's medical marijuana patient workshop walked away with invaluable information. Hosted by Grassroots Guam, attendees received an update on the implementation of medical marijuana in Guam. The keynote speaker was Nick Easley. He is the CEO of 3C Comprehensive Cannabis Consultation in Denver. He is a recognized leader in the cannabis industry and is working with the local government to put out any potential fires.
Guam chose the time to do this right, working with the Department of Health, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Tax, all at the same table to say, how are we going to regulate this in the safest way possible? Many states like Colorado, Oregon, Washington, they all got in too early and they didn't know how to do pesticide testing or standardization of products or not allowing edibles that look like gummy bears. So essentially, we've seen all these problems in other markets. So our firm, we always do free consulting for government organizations after legalization occurs so that they know what not to do, what works, how to regulate businesses appropriately, and how businesses get around the rules and actually sell dangerous products.
According to their company website, 3C has helped over 60 clients design, build, and optimize their cannabis and industrial hemp operations. They specialize in everything from strategic planning through development and implementation, including ongoing optimization for small and large-scale operations. His visit comes on the heels as the Department of Public Health has begun accepting applications for medical cannabis licenses.
So now working with the government here in Guam, we're trying to come up with the best ways to regulate this policy for the highest tax revenue, least amount of suffering, and the safest standardized products that are also not going to be an environmental nightmare for your infrastructure. I mean, with your essentially infrastructure being so fragile based on storm patterns and so forth, you have to be able to grow this in a wise way. Otherwise, you'll start to make products for patients, but then electricity goes out, all the plants could die. So we're educating about sustainable greenhouse cultivation, organic agriculture, and how to do this safely for the workers, for the patients, and for the government as well.
Easley says Guam could likely see the opening of medical cannabis dispensaries by the middle of this year. His best advice for now is to get educated about the law.
Elsewhere tonight, the leader of the island's Catholic Church is back for good as Coadjutor Archbishop Michael Burns arrived on island from Detroit early Monday morning, and he's gotten right to work. He was Vatican appointed and given full authority of the Archdiocese of Agana late last year. Burns' appointment follows allegations of child molestation made against Archbishop Anthony Apparan, who faces a canonical trial in Rome, as well as civil suits here at home. Although Archbishop Burns does not have any briefings with the press scheduled just yet, we have been able to confirm that one of his next public appearances is set for next week as part of Catholic Schools Week.
If you were anywhere in Tamuning on Sunday that afternoon, then there's no way you would have missed dozens of people, including students from various Catholic schools, lining the four corners of the ITC intersection for the annual Chain for Life event. For over 16 years, the Archdiocese has been hosting the prayer protests against the 1973 Supreme Court ruling Roe versus Wade, which legalized abortion.
It's important to me because it is the killing of human beings, and we should all be concerned about not killing human beings. And the babies in the womb are human beings.
The annual March for Life is scheduled to be held in Washington, D.C. on the 27th.
And also tonight, the GEC will publish the names of thousands of voters who risk being removed from the voter roster. After the past general election, the agency purges the names of voters who failed to vote in 2 consecutive general elections, in this case 2014 and 2016. Maria Pangilinan says they'll publish the names of more than 5,300 names on Tuesday. Notices sent out earlier this month to these voters will be tallied, and they'll have until February to come into the GEC's office to re-register or risk having their names removed starting next month. In the general election, voter turnout was over 69%, roughly about 35,000 registered local voters.
Sports and birthday shout-outs still to come, but first let's check out your weather forecast.
Thank you for an amazing year. This 2017, get ready for suspense, romance, drama, action. So bring on the new year. We are ready to capture more moments with you. Happy New Year from GTA.
There's a reason why you keep going. When it's your own hard work that brought you to this point. You do everything to protect what you've earned. Because every move that brings you closer to your goals leaves you no excuse but to keep moving forward. This is what makes you an alpha.
Start this year with something new in your driveway during Cars Plus Something New sales event. Make a resolution to expand your horizons with Jeep, the most awarded best-selling SUV brand. Like a Jeep Renegade or Jeep Compass, your choice. Save up to $4,000 or save $4,500 off a Jeep Grand Cherokee. How about the Jeep Cherokee 75th Anniversary Edition with savings up to $5,500 off. Stop in today for quick and easy financing. It's our Something New sales event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Chuck E. Cheese's Guam is not all fun and games. Our pizza is delicious with the freshest toppings, oven-baked to order. Try the fresh salad bar, sandwiches, and don't forget our mouth-watering wings. Come and eat at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
The Shop Guam E-Festival is back and better than ever. GBB has teamed up with over 100 Shop Guam vendors to give you access to hundreds of deals and discounts. Download the free Shop Guam mobile app and get real-time alerts on offers nearest you to dine, shop, play, and save. So many great deals to enjoy until February 4th. Download the app today. The Shop Guam E-Festival is a GBB signature event, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
New Year's resolution, Sue? I'm getting the whole house organized. And the sales saved me hundreds. You? Started with the garage. But these are going to be great. Yeah.
Your GMC dealer has a better way to start off the new year. Celebrate the new year with the new GMC. Get over $3,000 total value on most 2017 Acadia models. Visit AutoSpot GMC today for great offers. We are your GMC dealer of Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Up today, Guam, Chris Barnett with sports coming up. Patriots Day. But first, let's kick it off as bridges burn between the Matau and the Guam Football Association. Here's more. Mattel captain Jason Cunliffe is sounding off. After making international sports headlines for threatening a Team Mattel strike in response to the Guam Football Association's decision to pull the plug on the team's further participation in the AFC Asian Cup UAE 2019 qualifiers, Cunliffe expressed his disappointment with the GFA in an exclusive KUAM Sports interview. The Guam men's national team had qualified to play in March after competing in the EAFF E1 Football Championship in November in Hong Kong. But GFA President Richard Lai said it costs over $1 million to send the Mattel contingent to the high-caliber tournament. In a major paradigm shift, Lai and the GFA instead opted to invest more money into soccer youth development on the island and play for the long-term goal, feeling like Mattel's FIFA ranking of 182nd in the world warranted a new approach to the association's game plan. The news came as a shock and surprise to Cunliffe, who says Lai had led the team to believe it was full steam ahead for Mattel, telling them to be ready for 2017.
Richard looked us all in the eye and said, we're using this to prepare for March Asian Cup qualifiers, and we're going to have a camp in January, February. So there was no indication whatsoever, just as recently as November, that there were any issues. So for sure, we were absolutely devastated when we heard the news.
And just how did Cunliffe hear the news? Not from Lai or the GFA, he says. In fact, Cunliffe says he heard the news on the news.
We represent the island. You represent the island. You know, we're the GFA national team. And for you not to communicate to us a decision as grave as that, you know, for me, it's hard to swallow.
What does Cunliffe, a product of the GFA youth system, think of the GFA refocusing its efforts to grow the sport on Guam? He says it comes down to the kids wanting to win.
The way I did it was I touched the ball every single day, you know, not at the field, at my parents' house because I wanted to, I had the desire. But at the end of the day, if they don't have the technical ability or the drive to put in the work like I did as a kid, it doesn't matter what GFA does.
IIAG Boys High School Basketball, St. John's Gym Knights hosting the Islanders. Takumi Simon getting the floater in the lane to fall for the home team. Alshea Grape with the holy crossover, behind the back dribble, step back, no shot. Passes the ball to Jonah Hahn, baseline for the easy two off the backboard. Simon kicking it out to Michael Mann, looking for the open man, decides to pull up and hits the three-pointer from up top. Swish a sweet, all net. Jonah Hahn missing here, follows his shot, gets the rebound, but misses again. Dean Jesus, basics, box out, gets the putback to drop for two. Knights working the ball around the perimeter, eventually getting it to Simon, who shows his range, quick catch and shoot for three. Tress! Riddell Galang displaying his movement, gets to the basket, puts up the tough reverse, high off the glass for the nice finish. Knights holding it down at home, 56-53 for the dub. Michael Min with the drive to the rim right before the quarter came to an end. The Nojima Stella Kanagawa Sagamihara, whoa, say that 5 times fast, Pro Soccer Club taking part in a friendly match against a team made up of the Bud Light Women's Soccer League All-Stars. The Japan club recently crowned champs of the Plinus Nadeshiko League Division II last year and promoted to play in the Plinus Nadeshiko League Division I, which is the highest Japan pro league for women. At least one of the players on the roster has been called up to the Japanese women's national team, the squad on island, for a short training camp at the GFA National Training Center and pulled off the lopsided victory. 5 gymnasts from Guam competing in the Aloha Gym Fest held in Kailua, Hawaii. Maria Calvo Jr., A level 4, second all around with a score of 36.625. Tara Ferguson, Junior, B level 4, second all around with 35.65. Isabella Kebro, Child A Division level 7, second all around with a 36.875. And Cadence Montgomery, former athlete of the week, B level 8, seventh all around with 34.675. Patriots taking on the Steelers in the AFC Championship game. New England going up 10-0 after Tom Brady hits Chris Hogan for the 16-yard touchdown. D'Angelo Williams puts Pittsburgh on the board from 5 yards out here. Williams, 14 carries for 34 yards, filling in for Le'Veon Bell, who went out with a groin injury. Ouch. How about that flea flicker? Brady and the Pats, Deion Lewis flipping the ball back to Brady. Tommy boy going deep to Chris Hogan for 34 yards and the TD. Hogan, hero, 9 receptions, 180 yards, 2 TDs. Patriots Day. Picking up the big win, 36-17. Brady, 32 of 42, 384 yards. That's a franchise record. And 3 touchdowns. Patriots will face the Atlanta Falcons, so the squeaky clean Pats versus the Dirty Birds in this year's Super Bowl, as the Falcons took it to the Packers today, 44-21. Falcons. And on behalf of our sports director, Mr. Dave Delgado, my name's Chris, and you keep on shining, Guam. Adios.
I had a dream. I walked into a dealership, picked out a new car, gave them no money, and they're letting me drive it for free the next 3 months.
At Nissan Guam, your dream has become a reality during the premier New Year event. For the new year, you can drive away a new Nissan with no money down and not make a payment for the next 3 months. It's on the house, no money down. We make your first 3 payments. Just sign and drive away. For details, stop by Nissan Upper Kumon or log on nissanguam.com.
Get ready to take flight at the 2017 United Airlines Guam Marathon, April 9th. Register now for the 5K, 10K, half, and full marathon. 4 races in one great event. Run in paradise with thousands of local and international runners. Enjoy new features such as the Holiday Expo, the Barbecue Beach Party, and the upcoming Runners Perk program, Eat, Shop, Run. Learn more. Visit our Facebook or Instagram and register now at UnitedGuamMarathon.com.
Want a real taste of New York? The Big New Yorker tempts you with freshly made dough rolled into 16 inches of foldable crust. It's handmade to perfection with a sweet marinara sauce and your favorite topping. And 30% larger than our large, the Big New Yorker is only $10.99 for 1 topping. Bring together your family and friends for a Big New Yorker party. Each pizza is just $10.99 with 1 topping. The Big New Yorker, so close you can taste it. Only at your Island Pizza Hut.
Can you feel something without touching it? See something with your eyes closed. When everything is designed around you, the driver, you can. The new Mazda 3.
It's a very special turbo edition of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, and let's get right to tonight's birthday celebrants. Happy birthday number 14 to Cecilia Pangilinan.
Happy birthday to Deanna Bloss, celebrating her 15th birthday.
Also celebrating her birthday today, Nia Faye de Asis. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Aaron Longas.
Also, the entire family of Anita Mateo Ignacio says happy birthday to their special person.
Happy birthday to Feli Menjola Baza, love Steve, Mike, John, Luis, and the entire family.
Happy birthday, Ellie, goes out to Eliza Jo Regina Santiago tonight.
Happy birthday to Carrie B. Duenas.
Also, happy birthday wishes and many more to Carita Cruz.
And celebrating his birthday, a belated birthday, going out to Vince Cruz.
Also, happy belated 5th birthday to Rachel Augustine.
Happy 8th birthday to Kyler Curvin Rosalind.
And also happy birthday wishes, belated birthdays, go out to Rosa M. Kiachai.
And happy birthday to Amaya, Janae Cruz, and Jennifer.
All right, we told you it was fast. So if you would like to be part of the festivities, just go on KUAM.com, register, and you're in.
Stay tuned, extra snack.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Top of the day, everybody. Jason Salas here, and this is KUAM News Extra. We have a big show for you today. We are going to tell you about Girl Scout cookies now available, so you want to make sure to stay tuned for that, plus other amazing information about what's going on in Guam. But first, Nestor Lecanto has a report about what is being done over in Jonya to provide assisted living for our island's elderly.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
The Leo Palace Resort in Jonya is in the midst of a multi-million-dollar renovation. Part of its plan calls for a string of assisted living facilities for senior citizens. These are housing units designed to allow the elderly to age in place, to live independently in a safe environment. Dr. Vince Akimoto represents a group that has been looking into the growing need in Guam.
Over the last 2.5 years, the Magas Patriot Group, of which I am a member, has invested $500,000 in answering that question. We've engaged in high-level national consultations with experts who have built senior homes around the nation. We've contracted with Larry Richardson, who is one of the leading developers in terms of feasibilities in new communities. So we have a feasibility study that speaks to roughly about 529 seniors who have the wealth and the need at this moment to move into senior homes.
With the aging baby boomer population, more and more seniors nationwide are seeking a living option that provides for their basic assistance and care while maintaining their independence. Akamoto says the first such community or silver town in Guam is being planned at the Leo Palace.
So there'll be wellness benefits, there'll be recreational benefits, there'll be food and entertainment benefits that I think will be attractive to everybody. But these people have earned it. They've earned the right to live a life of leisure in a setting, Guam, warm, safe, beautiful, and now with world-class competent nursing and medical care. I think it completes the picture. I think it formulates now the reason and the need to move forward.
Akamoto says a lack of confidence in available medical care on Guam has long been a limiting factor, but he believes the quality of local physicians and facilities is now on par with U.S. standards, and that is the difference maker.
I think the good news today, the breaking news, is medical care on Guam is now at that point of maturity. We're delivering excellent medical care to seniors who, let's face it, they know they're not going to live forever. They just want to live their lives well at the very end. And I don't think that means spending lots of medical dollars in a hospital, futilely chasing after perfection.
The senior facilities that are being planned at Leo Palace will be retrofitted specifically to meet the needs and limitations that generally come with aging.
These are people that have some either disability or some need because of their age. Again, these people would be in their 70s and 80s, and depending again on their physical frailties, we definitely have to make accommodations. So the rooms and the building would be customized for that kind of a lifestyle. And certainly too, the kinds of entertainment, the kind of music, the kind of food, all of that has to be customized to make sure that the seniors have a good life.
The Leo Palace Resort first opened in the early 1990s. Part of its offering were vacation or retirement homes for well-off Japanese seniors. So the proposed elderly assisted living units will be a return of sorts to the resort's roots.
Leo Palace is famous for being home to a lot of the visiting Japanese who prefer to be living this kind of golf lifestyle on a tropical island. And so really the other market, the Japanese market, has its own particular needs. And that's one of the reasons we've enlisted Dr. Margaret Hattori from the School of Nursing at University of Guam to be one of our lead consultants in developing multicultural and very sensitively developed programs for Japanese, for the Koreans, for the Filipino, for the Chamorro, for the American, literally for as much as possible, all of us that live here and call Guam home.
While Akamoto's group has identified more than 500 Guamanian seniors who might be interested in living at the Leo Palace, he believes there may be many more potential clients region-wide, especially in Japan, he says, which has an aging population that makes it among the grayest of all countries.
Right now, Japan is bursting at the seams in terms of its ability to take care of its existing seniors. It's currently, of all nations in the developed world, the grayest. And so they're facing a real serious problem. But meanwhile, just a little further to the west is China. And China is evolving as the largest nation in demand of excellent medical care and excellent senior care. I think Guam's position in the Pacific is excellent for growing our version of senior care, and it starts today.
For KUAM's Business Matters, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
Please stay tuned, my friends. We are back right after this.
This program is brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
Thank you for an amazing year. This 2017, get ready for suspense, romance, drama, action. So bring on the new year. We are ready to capture more moments with you. Happy New Year from GTA.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
Order envy. When you want what you have and what they have, you can stop staring. The answer to order envy is here. Introducing the new $1 Double Stack Tacos. Spicy sweet, nacho crunch, and cool habanero. It has everything you got with everything they got. $1 Double Stack Tacos. 2 flavors stacked together in 1 taco.
Tourism. It's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports 20,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 3 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $150 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,100 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. Now, if you did not know, Guam has the 2nd highest rate of rape in the nation. That is astonishing. I've been doing this work for a long time, and that stat will absolutely blow your mind. Fortunately, we have Francesca and Taylor here, who are with the Guam Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Family Violence, talking about the No More Conference. Ladies, Hafaday, and thank you so very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about the conference itself, Francesca. Who is able to come and what type of information will be presented?
Right. Well, the conference is open to anyone in the community, but we definitely encourage the attendance of victim service providers and advocates in programs designed to address sexual assault. So, you know, that can include social workers, counselors, law enforcement officers, basically anyone in the community who's just engaged in efforts to end sexual assault on island. What they can expect to get out of the conference, what we plan to cover is we have some speakers that will be talking about the impact of historical trauma and culture on sexual assault, victim services, of course, so they know what resources are out there. They will also be getting an introduction to bystander intervention, how to address sexual assault on the youth, and wellness techniques to prevent burnout.
Can our corporate partners also come? Because I know, like, there's a lot of companies who, you know, they do sensitivity training, you know, sexual assault prevention and that thing. So can maybe HR people or, you know, like corporate representatives come as well?
Of course, of course. Everyone, like I said, everyone's welcome.
Outstanding. Okay, our friends in the military also do like quite a bit of training with that as well. Taylor, you've been on the island for several years now, and this has been one of your areas of work. In that time, what have you seen with, you know, your advocacy and the work that you've done with the community?
Well, through the coalition, our goal is to really just raise community awareness that these things are happening in the community, and we want to ensure that all victims are able to access services that they need. And we know this is a very difficult topic to discuss. It's hard to disclose to people, so we want to make it a safer environment for those to discuss. And as far as the training goes, we want to make sure that there are ample members of the community who are able to address the situation appropriately. And in all the years I've been working with the coalition, I've seen a lot of push towards recognizing this is happening in the community and addressing it in a way that we can ensure all survivors are able to access services.
And as I understand it, there is a top-notch speaker that will be coming out and like talking about many of the topics. Tell me about her.
So we have Nina Youssef coming in. She's one of the co-founders of NAPISEV. That's the National Association of Asians and Pacific Islanders Ending Sexual Violence. And they provide technical assistance to organizations that serve Asian and Pacific Islander communities.
Now, Taylor, you, of course, you hit on that point just moments ago, like the nature of these types of incidents and crimes. It's very, very sensitive. It's very, on a very, very personal level, obviously, because of, you know, of what it does. How are you trying to make people, you know, like, you know, speak up or connect them with those resources that they can get help and, you know, that they know they're not alone?
So because it is such a personal topic and it's such a personal violation, it's difficult for many survivors to step forward and tell people they trust, let alone go to a service provider and say, hey, this happened to me. So it's the awareness in the community that this does happen, unfortunately, and that there are service providers out there who want to help and want to step forward and kind of walk with them through the process, whether it's reporting to the police or if it's just getting services like counseling.
Okay, so is there any cost to attend, and where can people go to register, and what are the logistics as far as like people that want to participate in this conference?
Yeah, well, the conference is free. There's no registration fee at all. Unfortunately, we have closed registration, but if they are interested in coming, we will accept walk-ins as long as there are seats available.
Okay. So what's something else that people can take away from this, Taylor?
That there are organizations in the community willing to assist and commit to serving victims of sexual assault. And they can visit our website at www.guamcoalition.org to read up on sexual assault and look at other services that it might be available in the community, and just basic numbers they need to call if that is something they wish to do.
Okay, and I'm sure that's the same number and the same URL that people can go, because maybe some people moved here from other parts in the world, and maybe they say, hey, I've got experience in this kind of work. I'd like to join up. I'd like to help.
Yes.
I've got information that could possibly benefit you guys. Get me involved.
Yes.
Okay. So anything else you'd like to add before we go to commercial?
The conference is at Pacific Star tomorrow from 8 to 5.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
All right. Please stay tuned. We are back right after these messages. Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Two things come to play when talking about mobile data: price and speed. Let's look at what happens when we compare the competition against ITNE's $80 plan. Docomo's $79 plan comes with 6 gigs. ITNE's $80 plan comes with 20. GTA's $80 plan comes with 10 gigs. Better, but you get twice as much at ITNE. ITNE has the best network and the data to back it up. Get unlimited talk and text and 20 gigabytes for $80 at ITNE. Oh, and if you bring your own device, get 40 gigs.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Start this year with something new in your driveway during Cars Plus Something New sales event. Make a resolution to expand your horizons with Jeep, the most awarded best-selling SUV brand. Like a Jeep Renegade or Jeep Compass, your choice. Save up to $4,000 or save $4,500 off a Jeep Grand Cherokee. How about the Jeep Cherokee 75th Anniversary Edition with savings up to $5,500 off? Stop in today for quick and easy financing. It's our Something New sales event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
All right, everybody, I have two more friends with me in studio. We have Rhea and Renee, and they are with the United Guam Marathon, which is merely months ahead. So it is a major logistical undertaking. There's lots of plans being put into place, but who better to put it together than the ladies who love this very event so much. Thank you, ladies, for joining me.
Thank you.
And certainly the two of you are representing many, many hundreds of people. It's not just you putting this together, but thanks for taking some time and talking to us about
Thanks
this.
for having us.
Okay, I want to start with you, Renee. Has it been a year already?
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Okay. And
we start planning all year long. As soon as the last year's event ends, we're already talking about the next year.
Okay, so for the 3 people on Guam that have never seen the United Guam Marathon, participated in, taken part in the splendor that it is, tell us about the scope and the scale of this race.
Well, it's not just a run. We call it an event because there's a large amount of things that are involved with it from the beginning to the end, starting with the packet pickup. We call it the Half a Day Expo. We're going to have sponsors there, vendors, our race ambassador, Naoko Takahashi from Japan. She was a Sydney Olympic gold medalist, so she does a running clinic there. We also have food concessions and entertainment there. Then the day of the race, we have the start party. So we're going to have live entertainment leading up to each start of the race and a raffle by United Airlines for a plane ticket for each race. And then we have the barbecue beach party, which we're going to bring closer to the beach. We're going to have live entertainment. We're going to have barbecue there. It's just, there's so much involved. It's great for everyone to come and be a part of it.
And Ray, I've been involved in like the last few of these, and the weather is always stellar.
Perfect.
Knock on wood, it's like that way.
It's perfect for running.
Not too hot, you know, not too.
It's perfect. So it's a good race too, especially, you know, as a runner, as an avid runner, coming from Guam, it's, you know, you get to practice running the weather, you know, the sunny weather, and you get to enjoy the views of Guam.
Because the conditions here are unique. I mean, you know, like Renee, I emceed a couple years ago, and we said we had runners from, I believe there was someone from Iceland, from Ireland, you know, lots of runners from Korea. Yeah, and they all said, they're like, wow, it's so well managed. The course is beautiful, like you said, you know, Ray, like, you know, people can run, you get that vista of the island, and yet you're challenging, you know, the humidity out here. Once Mr. Sun finally wakes up and everything, you got to deal with that. Like, so what does that mean, like, as a competitive runner? What types of challenges do you?
Well, if as a runner, if you go out, practice when you do your running, it's especially from Guam, it's an advantage that that you get to train with the weather like this, and you know,
it's unique.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's very unique. Oh, okay, so
I'm sorry, I just couldn't. I'm imagining myself running out there. It's just like something, you know, something.
Well, they say the runner's high. You know, like you breathe, like the air can get very, very cold inside your lungs and everything. Like once you hit that stride, I don't know if it's like that when you're breathing like our humid air and everything like that. You know, obviously I'm a walker, but
yeah.
I'll try running with you this year. We'll try and knock it out together. Okay.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, okay. So Renee, people are watching this right now. Invariably, they're saying, okay, when can I start registering? And maybe more to the point, how do I start training myself for this event? Because that's a lot of people that hit the streets too.
Well, I can answer your questions about registration, and Ray can help you on some tips to train.
Fantastic.
But we do want to express that the next cutoff date is February 3rd. So as of February 3rd, the prices will go up. So please make sure you register before then, and that is at unitedguammarathon.com. So please
which is
visit
right around the
page.
corner.
Yes.
2 days before the Super Bowl.
Next week. It's next week.
That's right.
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so Rhea, training tips and everything. How can people condition themselves? You know, how should they pace themselves leading up to the race?
Well, you know, everybody can run a marathon or even a half marathon, but you got to remember to train. You got to practice the distance. 26 miles is 26 miles. 30 miles is 30 miles, and a lot of things can happen. So, if you're planning to run the longer distance, you got to try to build up endurance and practice during that. Every time you practice run, doing the distance, you get to practice when to drink your water, when to drink your goo, or take your goo, or drink your Gatorade or Powerade. And also, one thing that we kind of just forget as a runner, you wanna kind of do a dress rehearsal. So you don't want to wear something new on race day. You might get chafing or something. So just practice and you know, hydrate and enjoy the run.
All right. Okay. So Renee, a final word can be yours. What else should people know about this?
Well, just so you know, there is 4 races. So whether you're a long distance runner or not, we do have a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a marathon event. So it's open to everyone. You can run it, you can walk it. It's fun regardless. You get so much for your race fee. You get, you know, your finisher's tee, you get a beach mat, you get a finisher's towel, you get your medal, and just all the fun with the half-a-day experience.
Right after the race, the mat and the towel.
Outstanding. And I will say, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into commercial break, I can say from personal experience, the only people that are more tired than the actual runners are Renee and her committed crew, because they get up at like 2 in the morning.
Midnight.
Midnight. Okay, yeah. They work really, really hard to put on a quality race for you. So make sure to go to unitedguammarathon.com and register. Do that right now. Okay, we'll be back after this commercial. Go register right now.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
There's no place on Guam like Chuck E. Cheese's. It's tons of fun with so many games, and parties are a blast, where everyone has fun. Come and party at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Call and book your party today.
All right, everybody, 3 words for you now. Girl Scout cookies. That's all you need to know. Thank you. We'll see you at the end of this commercial break. Okay, I'm just kidding, obviously. But the cookies are here. They are in season right now. Melissa Lamarina Fernandez and Melanie Mindiola are here. They're with the Girl Scouts organization and the newly crowned Guam Young Professional of the Year. Congratulations, Mel.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Very well deserved. That $1 million smile is what's doing it. And Melissa, very good to have you in studio.
Good to see you too.
All right, and so the cookies are here. I was going to say, ladies, you can just take over this interview. I'm going to sit here and just fawn over these amazing recipes. So the cookies are out, first of all.
The cookies are out.
First and foremost, this season they're being distributed.
They are being distributed right now to pre-sales. So pre-sales customers will receive their cookies. The booth sales do not start until the 27th of January.
Which is apropos because there's also a very wonderful event that coincides with that.
Yes, definitely. Our race, which is the Great Guam Girl Scout Route 2K 5K, will be on January 28th. And it will be an evening run, so it does start at 5 p.m. And shortly thereafter, from 6 to 8 p.m., we'll have a family festival, which includes carnivals, rides, food trucks, and just a whole bunch of fun. Cookies. And cookies.
Thank you.
Every runner gets a box of cookies.
Outstanding. Okay, is that a box of their choice?
No.
Oh, okay, or completely random.
It is our special box. It is our s'mores cookies.
Aha!
This is a new flavor.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, let's go ahead and Mr. Cameraman, if we can, please. Very good. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, so s'mores is obviously a very classic, very time-honored recipe. People pass this down literally from generation to generation, but I have not tried these. I hope to over and over and over again, but tell me, like, how do these taste? They look amazing.
So just a backstory. These are the 100th anniversary Girl Scout cookies. So this is the first time they've been out, and they're good, actually. It's a graham cracker with a thin layer of marshmallows, and then the whole thing is covered in chocolate.
Wow.
I prefer them warm, but some people like them cold.
I was going to say, if you put those in the microwave for like maybe exactly 11 seconds, I would assume that would make an amazing treat.
Maybe ice cream on top, too?
Hey, there you go. Okay, and as I slobber all over my microphone and trying to avoid electrocuting myself, Mel, what else can you tell us about this event?
The event is the first of its kind. It's our fundraising. It's one of our signature events of the year. We have 2 major events as far as Girl Scout fundraising is concerned. One of them is our cookies, camping, and craft event, which will take place later this year. And then this is the first. It's our 5K. We have a couple sponsors we'd like to mention. We have the Department of Parks and Rec. We also have the Bank of Guam, and actually the chair of the event is John Regis. He's our vice chair of the Guam Girl Scouts Board of Directors, and he is in charge of this race, so we owe a lot of thanks to him. Sign King, Burger King, Papa John's, Submarina, Marble Slab, East West Rental, many others. And then as far as the food trucks are concerned, you're going to see all kinds of great food. I mean, it's an evening event. It's not a morning. It's not a 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning 5K. So we expect people to come hungry, and there'll be a lot of food available for sale. One of our food trucks is the Banh Mi guys. They're selling spiral dogs. Have you tried these?
I have not, but I've heard
they're
many
like
wonderful things.
Banh Mi hot dogs. They're really good. We're going to have Chief Acai there. So if you want something a little lighter after the run, you know, you can pig out or you can go with something lighter.
The superfruit.
A lot of, absolutely. Lots of different food to choose from. And you don't have to run to come and take part in the family event. It's a family event. So even if your family is not much for running, if you just want to come and support the Guam Girl Scouts, we'll have cookies available for sale. And so you can come buy your cookies, grab something to eat, enjoy the games, the obstacle course, run by our troops, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, so once again, Melissa, just take us into commercial. Where and when?
Sure, it is on January 28th, this Saturday at Adams Governor's Complex. Start time is 5, registration's at 4, and the Family Fun Fest begins at 6.
And congratulations to the very amazing work that the Guam Girl Scouts do on behalf of Girl Scouts of America. And the s'mores, that's a really wonderful way. Tell you what, they also brought these lemonades, which are my personal favorite. So I'm going to get a selfie, screenshot, you know, with these lemonades, that warm, refreshing cookie. Yeah, people my age know what that's all about. All right, we are going to go to commercial. We'll be back after this. I love these things. These are good.
Me too.
Yeah, my favorite.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.